Hi guys, welcome back to Ribeye HQ. This is Ross and I've got Ralph behind the camera and I've got Tom, Fleur and Dan in the sales team. Everyone say hi.
Hi.
Hi. On this Follow the Build episode, we've got a really high spec Prime 941 boat which is going to be manufactured here in Dartmouth, and when it's finished we're going to be exporting it to a Greek island. So a really exciting build, and this one has a really high specification, and we're going to start with fibreglass in our composites facility. But before we head down there to look at the hull which is currently under construction, we'll have a quick gander at the render that we've got here on the screen. You can come take a look. So as I say, really high specification. We've got the new Yamaha SBWs. We'll do an overlay with the render now. We've got custom black cowling covers with no branding on the side apart from the horsepower at the back and the V6 logo. We've got the brand new for 2023 transom back end for the Prime. So rounded off tube design, which gives you a little bit more buoyancy on the transom, which means you're holding better speeds and more buoyancy when you're going fast in chop. And also what that rounded tube allows are our new transom steps, which are made of aluminium. We then fit teak on the top, and then you'll see various boarding handles and then an understep retractable swimming ladder, as you can see. There's also some really custom parts, like we have a black gel coat hull, a grey gel coat deck and grey secondary mouldings on the deck as well. And then we're tying in that black hull with some black powder coated fittings on the deck as well. So you'll see various handles, various cleats, all finished in black. So this is going to be a super high-tech, really cool looking boat, and a bit different to some of the boats that we've been building, and it will look really nice in the Greek sun. And we've gone for a nice light grey seat as well, so that'll stay nice and cool in the heat over in the Greek islands. So without further ado, we'll keep you informed and updated as the specification comes together. But before we get to that part, let's take a look at how we build the fiberglass right here in Dartmouth. Right guys, so we're down in the Ribeye composites facility where we've got the client's awesome looking 941 here. Just come out of infusion bay 1, as you can see, and effectively it would have come out here in the hull mould, and then you'd have the deck mould as a separate piece. We leave the mouldings in the mould to bake, to cure in there for as long as possible, and then we, before fitting the deck on top of the hull, we install things like the stainless steel fuel tanks which live underneath the deck. And we'll head inside Infusion Bay 1 shortly just to have a look at the underdeck structures and where the fuel tank will live. But as I say, going back to the render, we've got a gel coat, grey gel coat deck. We've got black gel coat underneath, so a real nice custom build this one. And as we move down the boat, we just do a quick panel of the deck mouldings. You can see there's a lot of sort of features integrated with the actual mouldings itself, such as the U-berth. We've got an underdeck foredeck locker there. We have a recess here which will house the heads compartment within the console, so you step nicely down inside the console, giving you loads of space for when you're inside that unit. And also at the back of the boat here, you'll see a massive aperture there. That will have a gas ram back seat fitted, giving you huge storage again, right down into the depths of the hull. And that's something you really find on every Ribeye we build. Huge storage throughout. At this stage of the build, you can see the guys have just installed a tube carrier here. So we fit 2 secondary moulding tube carriers on all of the boats that we build, just to add that additional structure there. It also means when you look inside lockers, you don't see exposed tubes, which could effectively be a weak point in the construction. And also when we fit these tubes, it stops any sort of dirt getting inside the tube, which again could harm the longevity of the tube. So this is being bolted and bonded in, as you can see. The guys will then really neatly finish all of these edges, and they'll bond this together with the deck moulding flange here, and it will just make for an all in all really strong Ribeye Prime, and that's why we do not get breakouts on these boats. We do not get tube issues. We're going to look at the foam core laminate structure as well here, and whilst this is a different rib that we're building, this is an import moulding. If we take a close look in here, you can see all the Ribeye Primes, all the super yacht tenders are built using this advanced foam core structure. It's super high tech, there's no wood in the construction whatsoever, and it means that we keep the weight down whilst keeping the structure very thick. You'll see also to the right of this 941, we also have another 9.5 metre in white gel coat. That particular boat is being built as a twin diesel inboard chase boat for a super yacht, and also has an example of our Beachlander unit on the front there. But this specific boat will be fitted with twin outboards, as you would have seen in the render. So let's head inside to look at what the hull looks like before we get to this stage of the manufacture. Come on in. Right, so we are now inside one of the Ribeye infusion bays in Dartmouth, and one of the things we really pride ourselves on, and the team here, we love it when people come down to see the boats that we're building. So come on down and we'll give you a full tour of this facility. But this is a 941 hull, as you can see. So it's currently been dry laid inside the mould, and you can see initially, you can see the sort of deep V that runs right the way down through the mould, and that's what gives Ribeye that class-leading soft ride when you're out at sea. But the first stage is you apply your gel coat. The guys will then dry lay all your fibreglass. We then at that same time put in all of our longitudinals and our bulkhead structure, which is your backbone system underneath the hull, giving you that structure. And then effectively an infusion bag will be laid over the top of this, and then we'll infuse the hull in a single go, which gives you a really strong hull before we then start manufacturing the deck. So guys, currently at the midships of the hull here, you can see this is the deepest, one of the deepest parts of the hull here, and the 495 litre stainless steel fuel tank sits really neatly inside this section here, which means that as you run the fuel down, things like the balance of the boat is not affected in any way. It's also really nice just to have that centre of gravity really nice and low inside the hull. Okay, so we're now looking at the grey gel coat console, which will be paired with the grey deck and the black hull, looking really good. You'll see these chalk lines absolutely everywhere because they're all parts of the surfacing that will be hand finished by the team. So the attention to detail these guys go to is truly next level. You'll also see these pilot holes on the edge of the console, which is where we attach our structural T-top for putting paddle boards on top. It also gives you the shade. Inside this black console, you'll see a really well finished area. We finish with grey gel coat to lighten that area up, and then when we finish, we wrap the console before pairing it with the boat before fit out. Right guys, so that pretty much captures the fiberglass construction of this Prime 941 project. The next stage will be going into fit out, where we start to fit all those really cool intricate bits of specification, and at that point we'll really see the boat coming together, because you'll see the custom teak, the helm station going on with the suspension bucket seats, and then also tube manufacturing, and then we'll make sure we capture this boat when it goes on the water this summer for its first sort of water test and shakedown. It's going to be such an epic boat. I've got another example of one of our most recent 941 behind me here. So earlier I mentioned new bits of spec for 2023, such as our brand new sort of transom boarding steps with the rounded tube, which is hidden by this cover. We also have the new power steering SPW Yamahas with the stainless badging. So there's some really high spec ribeyes being built this year, so keep an eye on our Follow the Build if you're looking for inspiration with your potential ribeye build. And also coming very soon, we've got our brand new Unit 2 factory behind us here, which is all about expanding our boat building capability. So more fiberglass work, more boat builders are going to be working in there, and it's going to be a great place to have your boat built. And if you're looking at having a boat built with us, we'll happily give you a tour once this place is open, guys. So stay tuned, and thank you very much for watching.